This is a big one. Cutting ties to parents / family because of alcohol, and basically I keep letting my kids down. Cutting ties to parents. Let's like reframe this a little bit and talk about cutting ties to family, to parents, whether it's because of alcohol, whether it's because of addiction, whether it's because of bullshit.
It's just toxic behavior.
Cutting ties with family and parents is such a massively difficult thing for people. Talk about it. Answer, baby.
Okay. Well, before, I would say, for me, before I cut ties, I set boundaries with myself and what type of lifestyle I wanted, what type of environment I wanted my kids to grow up in. And there was a lot of people in my family that didn't end up fitting in that boundary space. And a lot of it wasn't really cutting ties or like removing people. It was just I didn't put my children or me in a place to commingle with these people in my life.
Bingo.
So there was no drama, there was no guilt, there was none of this. It was just we went on and did what was best for us.
Yeah, it's so easy to do this, yet it's so difficult for people to understand it. Like, I'm going to use something really easy for people to understand as a reference, like Facebook. Okay, if you have people that show up on your timeline every single day that are dramatic, that are bullshit, that are just all kinds of crazy, you know that you've chosen to put them there, right? Like you've chosen to hit the follow button and have them show up on your timeline in your space. It is a choice. I've shared this with people for years. You said the same thing. If there's drama in your space, it's because you're inviting it there.
Yep.
Like
Amen.
No one is making you to have mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, boyfriend, girlfriend show up on your timeline. Just like no one, you're not required to have these human beings in your life, even if it's mom, even if it's dad. Like we had a really interesting, I don't want to say interesting agreement, but like when you and I got together, you and I think we're at a level that we realized this is our game.
Yeah.
It's me and you. When you and I got married, I didn't marry your family. I didn't marry your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. They're all part of the game. That's just fine. But I didn't marry them. I didn't marry their stories. I didn't marry their past. I didn't marry your connection to them. I married you for you. Right. I married you because you and I were going to create our own world and our own family. And I think it's something for people to understand that, you know, when you're married, when you're in a relationship, you have family, they have family, but you are your own family. Yeah. And anytime somebody comes inside of your space, into your world, to fuck with that, that's without question, like, you two together. And this is something I know you and I are very good at is I've got your back, you've got mine, and I don't care what your name is. I don't care if it's the same last name as mine. You come in my space or my wife's space or our space together and you fuck with it at all, like, that's you and I versus whatever that is.
Right.
Does that make sense? There's another question here that said, how do y'all deal with deep family issues such as disrespect between the mother? Kind of goes on to the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
same thing.
If you have issues and drama in your space, and this is a big question. I'm going to spend enough time on this so people really understand that, you know, their question is, well, it's my mom. Well, it's my dad. I can't just cut my dad off or my mom off. You absolutely, certainly fucking can. You absolutely fucking can. There is, if your relationship with a human being is tied to social media, I'm just going to use this as an example again. If you unfollow or you block somebody because they're toxic and their reaction to this is one of a child yelling, screaming, bitching, moaning, oh, you're going to block me on social media? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm going to block you. You're toxic. I don't want you in my space. I have zero bandwidth, like zero tolerance whatsoever, as do you.
Yeah.
And we firsthand saw this when Saxon and I first got together. There were some people in Saxony's space who, if you know my wife, you know that she has an amazing charitable heart and she wants to help everybody that she can. And there were some people in her space that didn't need to be there. There were some people in her space that were ridiculously toxic, that were very, very, very bad for her. I'm not going to say bad people. They're struggling tremendously in their life, and they were just shitting all over her. And I watched and I saw it, and I just questioned you. Why are these people in your space? And you told me, like, I bought these kids, or this family's kids Christmas presents. I helped potty train their children. Like, this is a family that you were connected to deeply for many, many, many years. They were just very, very, very toxic. And when you chose to kind of move away from them, they lashed out. Yeah. Lashed out major. And they created fake accounts on social media and started calling you every name under the sun, bringing up your past, doing a whole bunch of shit. But I could say without question, like, you and I fortifying our home, against everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone has been one of the best things I think that we've done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to add too is you can still love. You know, this
100%.
is a hard thing. It's we get stuck with between like, what's my blood? You know, it's my family. You can still love these people
Yeah.
and not have them in your space.
100%.
You can still love them and not see them but once a year.
Yep.
Like it's not a decision of if I love them or not, or if you. So you don't have to have a hole in your heart necessarily. You can still give them love, and however that best suits you and your forward expansion.
Yeah, I agree.